You see, for me, coming from Tana River, we have a very big problem with government agencies that have taken a lot of land from the people, our land, and they have said it's their land. Okay? And I guess if the senator from Laikipia was seated here, they would also say the same thing about KDF in their county. But for me, I'm not talking about KDF. I'm talking about NYS. NYS has taken a lot of land in Tana River County. And it has affected even the county expansion programs. And I'm specific, like in Madogo, the marketplace where it's supposed to be constructed, there are issues about where we are going to get the land. And even when the county government has allocated land, you will find an agency like Kenya Forest, you know, claiming that area you can't use it, like National Youth Service claiming that area you can't use it, and you find yourself in a problem. In Galole constituency, for example, in my own county, the National Irrigation Authority has taken so much land. So when the town, Hola town, where our headquarters is, was small, it was okay, you could live with it. But then now population has increased and the county needs to expand just to get a few acreage from those agencies. And I'm giving examples what those agencies have been doing across the country. So for me, and that's why it's important for people to inject into the national discussions things that are coming from the ground, from reality. When we tell you that government agencies and even some churches, you know, they have just been allocated too much land and they need to give it up, I think that is a conversation that needs to be had in this country. So even private entities, you know, and it is here, even here in Kiambu County, there's been a long discussion about Del Monte and expiry of lease and things like that. So from where I sit, that thing of telling a government agency to surrender land is something that for us, it's a good thing.
To surrender to a private entity, to one church?
No,
for example, the NYS land you say in Tana River, if the president came there and hived off 20 acres and gave it to one church, would that be okay?
No. The way I'm looking at it is, he hives off that 20 acres and gives it to the construction of a marketplace,
exactly.
Expansion of the municipality of the county and stuff like that.
So giving it to one church would be questionable.
No, from where I sit, let me say that there are some public entities that have taken a lot of land. And from where I sit, it is time that we should have a conversation about these public entities and what they use that land for. Now, whether that land is given to individuals for public good, or it's given to a municipality for public good, or it's given to a county for public good, those are details. But the principle must be, Fred, that we need to have a discussion about how much land, not even just public land, I mean even private individuals who are having millions of acreage, you know, at ranches, and then people don't have land next to you. There's a problem. So that whole equation, I think we should have a bigger conversation. But coming to this land in Roysambu, I don't have the facts whether that dispute was in court or that dispute was in its initial stages. It hasn't gone to court. But if it is between the KDF and the church, and the leader of KDF, the CNC, the chief commander-in-chief, has said, on our side, we are willing to give it out. Then the church and the KDF will sit down and work out the details. What I know, if the matter is in court, it doesn't just happen. There's got to be a lot of discussions about how a consent can be recorded. And if it is a matter that has not even gone to court, even when the president makes public pronouncements, what happens in the backyard, like all of us who have been in government know, there are negotiations around making that a reality. And sometimes presidential declarations become difficult to implement, and a feedback is sent to the authority that now actually, although that was a political request and it was done this way, we can't fulfill it, or we can only do 50%, or we can only do 30% because of the realities X, Y, Z. So I know for a fact that because the president said there will be negotiations, or hurrying up those negotiations. Okay. And I think I'd like to leave it there, that we must have a discussion about how individuals, private entities, and public entities have held land across this country, and also to say that when a presidential directive is given, implementation of it sometimes doesn't give the exact result that was announced.
And if we had time, we would have discussed this issue about land and the housing project, because it's an issue of land as well. The government has entered into 50 billion close affordable housing contracts on parcels of land with missing title deeds, raising the question on how Kenyans buying houses from the projects will get sectional titles to own their units in absence of original titles, at a time when the housing program continues to operate in an opaque regulatory environment. And they're asking